what I'm going to do now is show you the storyboard to the Gatekeeper and get you further familiar with what the story is all about by images and illustrations I've done at the time that I was writing this screenplay entitled The Gatekeeper. So let's get started, like I always say. And again, got one of my sketch pads. I got a lot of sketch pads just filled with illustrations and drawings and concept art. But we can take another look at the Gatekeeper. Now I got each scene broke down scene by scene. Now you remember what I originally said, that the scene will open up with birds flying in the clouds, and that's pretty much the way this is set up. Now this is how scene one would look like. This is what the viewer would see if this actually became a movie. Birds flying in the clouds, and you see the long, lonely highway. This is the top shot of Boxer Coin driving his car. Next scene would show the car coming around sort of like a mountain area. The next scene would actually show a face shot of Boxer sitting in the car. Now these drawings are a couple of years old. But like I said, it was actually drawn during the time that I was penning the screenplay. But it still pretty much stands out. Now you take a look at this car right here. I actually had a 1988 Camaro. But if this movie actually became reality, I'd probably use the newer Camaro, because I'm into Chevrolets. And the next scene would be another shot of him actually driving from a different angle. Then the camera would fade with actually him pulling up into the driveway. Now, Vox Unicorn and his wife Jill live near the beach. That's pretty much what the story is set up. Both are very successful. He's a book publisher and she's a lawyer. And this is a shot where he actually comes into the front door, calling his wife, named Jill. When he walks in with his briefcase in his hand, and she asks from the bedroom, then he walks into the bedroom. This is how his wife Jill would look. Very attractive woman. Like I said, these was real quick drawings at the time that I was writing a screenplay. I wouldn't try to put a lot of detail in it, because that'd take a lot longer to do. And this is where they start to kiss passionately. And this is them in bed, and then be sort of like probably a fade out. Then I'll say about an hour later they'd be sitting in bed talking. And this next scene would go where he would turn over and go to sleep. But he'd be tossing and turning, and he'd wake up in the middle of the night and also wake his wife up because of his uneasiness. And he'd put his robe on in this particular scene, and he would slide open the doors and walk outside. And you notice she's telling him not to stay out too long. The next scene would show him actually outside, and you see a flash. You see the moon up here in the background, and a flash of lightning as he's walking on the beach. The next scene actually shows him when he sits down on the bench and he's pitching a rock out into the water, as you see, and then a streak of lightning come down. And that's when Jill starts to get worried, and she gets out and she walks down the beach, and she actually sees him down there. You see lightning in the background, part of the moon. And we go to the next scene. Like I was saying, each scene was broken down scene by scene, so you know exactly what's taking place. He started to walk back up the beach, and that's when he gets struck by lightning. And Jill is shocked. She's in disbelief, and she sees her husband getting struck by lightning. And he falls down. She rushes over to him, and she puts her hands around him from the back, like the screenplay said, and then she turns him over on his back so he won't suffocate in the sand, and she runs into the house, and she calls 911, and she's crying, and he comes to rescue squad. And the next shot will actually show him actually going to the hospital. It's night and it's raining. And this shot, you see Jill, his wife, talking to the doctor. And he's questioning her about what she had actually seen. And she's sort of puzzled because she actually saw him get struck by lightning. And the doctor's saying that he didn't because he found no burns or any physical evidence that he was actually struck by lightning. And she's sort of puzzled as he explains this to her. And then we go to the next shot as he's explaining it to her and trying to calm her down a little. Then we go into the hospital room where Boxer in the corner is sort of bandaged up, and you can see he's sort of bruised a little where he fell down at, but he wasn't actually struck by lightning. Go ahead and clear it up a little bit. And that's when he starts to have his dream vision. And he hears his name being called. And then he becomes a part of the dream vision. And you see, like I explained in the screenplay, he wakes up in this field of energy, and he sees this stairway that leads up to a powerful light entity. And that's what you see him in this scene. And you notice I got them all numbered, 35, 36, because it's a scene breakdown. And you see the top it says Vision and Will's Dream. And here it shows him, he starts to ask questions, and it's telling him to come near, and he starts to go up to the stair to the powerful light energy. And you see, here you see a lot of energy being around the stairway that he walks up. And you see the light energy here, and the energy around it, and then he gets submerged in the energy. That's thunder in the background, and the energy begins to form a face. And when you start asking questions about who am I, and is he dead, and all this, and the entity answers no, 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 are you God? He says no. And then he starts to answer his questions. You tell him that he is the gatekeeper to the netherworld. And you get a closer in shot, just barely over his shoulder. This is the back of him. You see the light energy right barely over his shoulder and the side of his head. And then the camera angle will change again and show down upon him, like that. And when I drew these storyboards, I got them sort of like a comic book, a cartoonish look and feel. Because, like I said earlier, I wanted to draw them out as quickly as possible. Because I was, at the same time I was writing, I was also illustrating these images. And you see, he's been engulfed by the light entity and all of the energy that's in this field of energy within his dream vision. As the light entity continues to tell him who he is and what's about to take place. And this is another shot at the very top where the light energy is, where it's a far out shot where you can actually see the face of the light entity and the energy and all the lightning around it and everything's taking place in the scene. And this is when he's telling him about, he told him, don't let the demons deceive him. And he closes his eyes, and he basically sees everything. And he continues to give him instruction about what's to come, the events that's going to take place. And Vox eventually asks, what do they look like? And the entity reveals the images of those who are going to come after him. Here you got Medlock the demon. You get the original demon form of Amy, the she demon, and this guy right here is the seduced, misled gatekeeper. And then the faces disappear, and he gets more instruction about what to take place. And at that moment, the light energy starts to fade away. And a quick fade, everything just basically, the energy just expands and just winks out. And Vox again wakes up with a wife still beside him in the hospital.